Hello, how are you today? So the purpose of this video is to talk about immune health and immune support. So how do we support a healthy immune system? Basically, it breaks down to the individual cell. So there's 70 to 100 trillion cells in the human body. 70 to 100 trillion cells. And they make up everything in our body. They make up our hair, our nails, our bones, our connective tissue, our nervous system, our organs, our digestive tract, our stomach lining. Everything is made up of cells. And cells are either weak or they're strong. And just like in nature, to create the next generation, the weak ones die off and the strong survive. So there's two types of immunity within the body, two types of immune cells. There's our inherited immune cells, and these are cells that were passed down to us from our grandparents and our parents, and we're basically kind of stuck with what we got. But there's also acquired immune cells, and acquired immune cells are learning. They're learning either how to be weak or they're learning how to be strong. So the key component is to create an environment within the body that creates healthy, strong cells on an individual level. So there's two basic functions that a cell, like if you think of a cell as just a little human, it needs to survive. It needs to be able to consume energy and eliminate waste. Just like us, we need to be able to consume pure energy and eliminate toxicity and eliminate waste. Now, when you create an alkaline environment within the body, this creates a very easy way for these two processes to happen. Alkaline means very hydrating, very clean, very clear, very breathable. But when you create an acidic medium within the body is not able to eliminate and disease is able to thrive. So when you think of a cell is like this. It has an interstitial area. An interstitial just means the space on the outside of the cell. And outside of that cell, you have two fluids flowing through the body. You have your lymphatic fluid and your blood. Now, lymphatic fluid is about 80% of the fluid and blood is about 20%. Now, blood is a little different because it has a pump, it has our heart. So things can move in and out of the blood pretty quickly. But the lymphatic system is like a slow-moving creek. And if that lymphatic fluid around the cell is living in an acidic medium, it's going to get very inflamed, corrosive, dehydrated, and stagnant. And that's going to internally affect the health of the cell because the cell will not be able to eliminate waste to the lymph nodes, which then carry that waste to our eliminative organs, which are our skin, kidney, and bowels. So if you have a slow-moving, stagnant creek living outside of the cells all of a sudden start to glump together and get squished together, and it's like trying to fit as many people into a shoebox as you can, and they get all sweaty and irritated and angry and hot, and it's just not a fun environment to live in. And it creates a weak environment of cells. It creates damaged cells. And viruses and flus and bacteria, they are basically opportunistic. They look for the damaged cells. And when the damaged cells outweigh the healthy cells, that's when you can come into some serious dis-ease problems. And that's when you can come into some serious immune system or immune health problems. So how do you support the health of your immune system? You got to think about the individual cell. You got to think about consuming pure, vibrant, alkaline energy. Fruits are one of the most energizing, electrifying foods that you can consume to create an alkaline environment within the body. And then you have to create a clear passageway to eliminate waste. Every chemical system within the body creates some sort of byproduct, and you need to be able to eliminate these byproducts. Or if you want to think about it, the lymph nodes are like our septic system. If the lymphatic fluid is so inflamed and full, it's going to affect the lymph nodes, which then are going to get it's going to create a septic system that's about to explode. And at some level, the level of toxicity is going to be too much for the body to really handle. And thus, you're creating an elimination of the weak and the strong survive. So you really want to just think about moving the lymphatic system as much as you can. So the lymphatic system, yes, it can be moved through alkaline pure energy foods, but it can also be stimulated through external sources like dry brushing, hot and cold showers. Deep breathing is very oxygenating for each and every cell, very enlivening for our cells. You can also do very astringent fruits to get the lymphatic system moving, and even some essential oils can help stimulate the lymphatic system. So if you have more questions on how to stimulate the lymphatic system, you can also look it up. You can look up lymphatic massage. That's a very useful tool in helping to start to get that slow creep moving faster and getting the waste to eliminate to the lymph nodes. So basically, your immune health is dependent on your cellular health. And you want your cells to be vibrant. You want them to be hydrated. You do not want to create a corrosive, inflammatory, painful experience for your cells or your body. And most viruses, like corona for instance, that we're dealing with right now, it's just an opportunistic protein. And proteins are like a foreign invader to the body, and it triggers an immune response in the body to start fighting that off. But if your weak cells are trying to fight off an opportunistic protein, they're not going to be strong enough to do that, and the protein is just going to take over, and basically it causes the immune system to start attacking itself. Versus if you have really strong cells, if that opportunistic protein comes in, the strong cells are just going to, in an alkaline environment, just kick that thing to the curb, and it's just going to move right out of your eliminative organs, and it's not even going to have a chance to start to affect your internal health. So I hope that makes sense. I try to break it down to be simplistic, but basically you want to create an alkaline environment. Think about being at least 51% on the alkaline spectrum. Very acidic things for the body are processed foods, processed sugars, highly cooked foods, your meat, dairy, and eggs. All these things create an acidic chemistry within the body. So we have to think about how can we create an alkaline chemistry for the body, and how can we get our eliminative organs eliminating properly. So that's our skin, kidneys, and bowels. So we will have more videos on each one of these things specifically, but if you have specific questions, you can ask them in our community question forum, and we will answer them in our weekly Zooms as well. But otherwise, I hope that was informative, and I hope basically what you got from that video is our immune health is dependent on our cellular health, and that's 70 to 100 trillion cells. So we've all got a lot of work to do, but it's good work, and it's wonderful. All right. Aloha, and we'll see you soon.